Hello hookers, welcome back to Inspired by a Smile. My name is Christy and today I'm going to show you how to make one of these little pot leaves, little pleats or whatever you want to call them. So if you've got some embroidery floss or crochet thread and a 1mm hook or whatever size hook you want to use, you can use a different size if you'd like. Let's get at it. Alright, so it is a little bit harder using this smaller hook, so bear with me. I'm going to go as quick as I can, but also show you at the same time how to do it. So I'm doing a chain 4. This is going to be the magic circle, this is how I do mine. If you want to do an actual magic circle, go ahead. But I'm just going to chain 4 here and join it at the end with a slip stitch. It's a lot easier trying to do this off camera, but I got it. So now I'm going to do a chain of 3 after doing this, closing the circle. This is going to be the stem of your pot leaf. So grab the chain, make one more chain, and then in the second chain from the hook you want to do 1/2 double crochet. Again, it is a little bit harder than using normal yarn and a hook, but the more you practice, the easier it gets. So now in the second stitch, you want to do a single crochet. And now the last stitch, you want to do a slip stitch. Alright, now go into the middle of the circle. Make sure you crochet over the little piece of yarn as well. You can pull it tight when you're done. So into the circle, and starting with in there you want to do a chain of 4, and I am counting the one that goes into the circle. So start into the circle, do a chain, and then you want to do 3 more after that. So you have 4 in total. Now grab the chain, do 1 more, and then go in the second one from the hook and do a slip stitch. While you're doing that also, I would like to thank everyone for subscribing and being on this journey with me so far and watching my videos. I really do appreciate it. Second stitch is going to be a double crochet. And if you haven't already subscribed also, guys, and turned on notifications, make sure that you are so you don't miss any videos. And if you want to follow me on any of my other social accounts, they're all linked at the top of my YouTube channel. I also have places to donate and subscribe and everything too, like my Facebook page and Patreon. If you want to check those out, they're at the top too. Okay, so the last stitch is a slip stitch. And don't forget to like the video too, it goes a long way. Now we're going back into that middle circle. Again, crocheting over that little piece of thread. And this one, we're going to chain 6 all together as soon as I get my hook back in. If you guys also have any questions about my tutorials or want to request a tutorial, please feel free to do so. You can comment on any of my videos or message me on any of my social accounts. And also, I do like to see your finished projects, so if you have pictures of your finished work of any of my tutorials, feel free to show me on any of my other social accounts. Again, they're linked at the top of my YouTube channel. As soon as I get this to work, we are going to do a chain of 6. Always acts up when I'm on camera. I made a few of these already, as you could see, for the earring, and I think it just likes to give me a hard time when I'm filming. And I do apologize if the video is a little grainy. I had to switch from my regular camera to my phone tonight. It was giving me a hassle. Alright, so we got a chain 6. Grab the chain, do one more chain, go in the second from the hook, and do a slip stitch. I'll also be posting the earring tutorial that I showed at the beginning. I just wanted to do a separate tutorial of just the applique in case anyone wants to sew these onto something. They are super cute and small. So after the slip stitch, you want to do a half double crochet in the next stitch. And again, you can use different size hooks, guys. This is just the size I'm using for my current project, so I wanted to make sure it was the same size. So after the half double crochet, you want to do a double crochet in the next stitch. So far you should have a slip stitch and a half double crochet, and now a double crochet. And I highly recommend, if you are using smaller hooks like this, those ergonomic handles, they really help. I don't think I could do it without them. So after that, you want to do a half double crochet in the next stitch. And then the last stitch is a slip stitch. Awesome. Okay, so going back into the middle circle again and over that little piece of yarn or thread, this one is going to be a chain of 8, including that one first chain that's in the circle. So we're going to chain 8. While you're doing that, while I'm doing that, make sure that you are, like I said, subscribed with notifications on, and feel free to hit that like button at any time during the video. It helps keep it bumped up in the algorithm so more people see my videos. It's really appreciated. Alright, so we're at a chain of 8 here. Grab the chain, do one more chain, and then in the second one from the hook, you want to do a slip stitch. Alright, and then after the slip stitch, you want to do a half double crochet in the next stitch. I should have said this already, I'm working in the back bumps only. If you happen to miss it and it goes in a different way, it's not going to affect it really, but if you can manage to get all in the back bumps, it works best. So that next stitch is a double crochet, and so are the next 2. So far you have a slip stitch, half double crochet, and then 3 double crochets in a row. If you want to check out Amazon, if you don't have these hooks already, I got my entire thread. They're called a thread crochet set, and I got them all on Amazon for a very good price. They work well. So the next stitch is a half double crochet, and then the one after that one is a slip stitch. Awesome. Now we're ready to do the big leaf, and then I'm gonna just quickly show you a rundown of how to do the opposite side, which is the same. We just keep going in a circle. It's really easy and they're so fun to make like this. So this one is going to be a chain of 10, including the middle one that's in the circle. So we're going to do chain 10. Again, going over the little piece of thread. For some reason my circle's weird. I didn't actually have to pull it too tight at the end, so normally though I have a bit of a gap in the middle, and at the end I do have to pull that tight. Alright, so I grabbed the chain, I made one more chain, and then I'm going in the second from the hook, and we're going to do a slip stitch as soon as I get it in there. And then the next stitch is going to be a half double crochet. And then the stitch after that will be a double crochet. Now, because you want this leaf to be a bit bigger, wider, I guess, you want to do a triple crochet, and we're going to do 3 in total. So far you have a slip stitch, a half double crochet, and a double crochet. And now we're going to do 3 triple crochet in a row in the next 3 stitches. While you're doing that, if you haven't yet, please like the video. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on, and please feel free to check out my other social media accounts. They're all linked at the top of my YouTube channel. And like I said, if you would like to do a donation one time or sign up to my Facebook or Patreon, everything is there linked at the top of my account. It's never expected for a donation or anything like that, but I do appreciate it. And right now, if you do sign up as a subscriber on Facebook, I have a special offer. When I hit 10 subscribers, I'm going to do a giveaway, and the first 5 to sign up will get a free gift. I have one so far. I have to actually mail out my gift to her. But I need 9 more, and we're going to do a giveaway for that, and it's only $1.29 a month. Alright, so that, I think we're done with the triple crochet here. So we're going to do a double crochet next. And now you want to do a half double crochet in the next stitch. And then a slip stitch in the last one. So the next rows after this are all repeated. So I'll just give a rundown on how to do them. And again, if you guys need any help or have tutorial requests, please ask me on my videos or any of my social accounts. And please send me pictures if you have them of any of my finished projects. I love to see it. So here's the one side of the leaf all nice and done. I can't wait to get my tutorial done for the earrings too. So now I'm going to do just a chain of 8, and I'll explain a little bit on how to do that right now. as I'm making it. So this is a repeat one, guys, of the one we already did. I'm going to chain 8, and then at the end you want to grab it, do one more chain, slip stitch, and then a half double crochet in the next stitch, and then three double crochet in a row. So once you're done the chain 8, you want to do one more chain, a slip stitch, half double crochet, 3 DCs in a row, and then half double crochet, and then a slip stitch to finish that off. Alright guys, that one's done. So now we're going to do the next one, which is a chain of 6, which after you grab the chain and do one more chain, you're going to do a slip stitch in the end, a half double crochet, and then a double crochet, and then a half double crochet, and then a slip stitch. So chain 6, grab the chain, do one more chain, and then slip stitch, half double crochet, double crochet, half double crochet, and then a slip stitch to finish off the row. If you need to look back at the rest of the tutorial to see what I mean, then it's there. Alright, last leaf, which is going to be a chain of 4. After going into the circle, you'll have the 3 that make sure that you are still going over that little piece of thread. So again, chain 4. This one, after grabbing the chain and doing one more chain at the end, you want to do a slip stitch, double crochet, and then a slip stitch. It's a nice short leaf. So again, chain 4, grab the chain, go in the second from the hook, and then slip stitch, double crochet, slip stitch. Alright, so that is all done, guys. I'm just going to show you how to fasten this off. So I'm going just into the center of the circle, and I'm going to pull the thread through. Again, if you guys have any questions, please ask, and if you want to like the video, that would appreciate it too. So I'm just going to cut enough because I need to sew this onto my earring after. Make sure you sew it, cut it accordingly. If you need it longer, make it longer. It depends what you're sewing these to. Especially if you're sewing it on as an applique, you want to make sure that you have enough room. Thanks again, guys, for watching. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you are subscribed with notifications on so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos, and please follow me on any of my other accounts if you're interested. They're all at the top of my YouTube channel. And if you do have any requests, please let me know. So that is one nice little mini finished pot leaf applique. Awesome job, guys. We did it. Yay! Hello hookers, welcome back to Inspired by a Smile. This is Christy. Today I'm going to show you how to make a cool dube catnip toy for your cats. So I'm going to use my 4mm hook. These are the colors I'm going to use. I also have some black, not much, we don't need much of that. So I just have it cut already, and of course catnip. I've got some high potency stuff, so if you're ready, let's get started. Alright, so we're going to start from the top down. This is almost the same as my dube that I made as a stuffy, but it's a little smaller since it's for a cat. You can definitely just make it as a stuffy as you want, if you want to, or if you don't want to put catnip in it for your cat, then you don't have to. My cat loves these things with or without catnip, but he really, really liked this. Okay, so I'm getting ahead of myself here. So all I did was chain 4 and did a slip stitch. That's my magic circle. And then I did a chain, and now I'm going to do 10 half double crochet into the circle. And I'm crocheting over the little piece of yarn. Again, that's 10 half double crochet into the circle. If you want to do a regular magic circle too, that works. This is just how I do it. So while you're doing that, guys, I would like to thank you all for watching so far and coming along this journey with me. I really do appreciate it. If you can, please like the video. It helps keep it bumped up in the algorithm for other people to see it. And if you haven't already, make sure that you are subscribed with notifications on my channel. If you're watching from Facebook, I do upload these to Facebook too eventually, so just make sure that you're following me on my page too. If you want to follow me on my other socials, they're all linked at the top of my YouTube channel or on my Facebook page underneath my profile picture. And of course, it's never expected, but if you want to do a one-time donation or sign up to my Facebook subscription or patron, the links are all on all the information is available on my YouTube channel and my Facebook page. The links are all there. Facebook is a little different, but there's a spot where you can find how to subscribe. There's actually comments on basically each post I make for the link as well. It makes it probably easier to find it actually. Alright, so we're just gonna go in the first stitch here and do 2 half double crochet in the same stitch. I'm just gonna grab my stitch marker. Also guys, if you need help at any time, please let me know. I'm available. And if you just want to give me a tutorial request or show me your finished work, please show me that too. I love to see it. So again, I'm doing 2 half double crochet, same stitch. And we're going to repeat that all the way around to the beginning of that row. So I'm just going to do one more here. So 2 half double crochet, same stitch. Again, continue till you get to the end of the row. Alright, so next row is the last one for this. Now my doob ended up being pretty chubby. If you don't want it as big as the one I made, you can make it smaller just by decreasing in the top part of the doob. You don't have to put 10 half double crochet in the circle. You could probably put 9 or 8 even, just to make it a little smaller, or just don't increase as much. So this row is 1, 2, 1 half double crochet all the way around. So 1 and then 2 in the same stitch, 1, 2 in the same stitch. Go all the way to the beginning. Alright, so we're at the beginning of that row, and that's as big as I'm making the top. So I'm just going to skip a stitch, go in the second from the hook, and I'm going to do a slip stitch. And I'm just going to cut this long enough to add the white to it. It's really fun making a doob again. My other tutorial is really popular, and well, I decided to pick up some catnip to make some toys, so I'll definitely be making more. My cats really liked this. I made them a toy before with catnip, but apparently it wasn't good enough catnip because they did not go as crazy as they have today. One of my cats actually doesn't even like these type of toys usually. He prefers those springs, and he's been loving this today. Alright, so I've joined the white. I did a chain afterward, after knotting it. So now you want to go in the back of the stitch, because we're going to start forming the side of the doob. And I go in the back like this so that when we turn it inside out, it's just better. You could probably go in the front of the stitch too, but I prefer to go in the back of the stitch. So for this row only, we're going to go in the back stitch of the red. And like I said, when you turn it inside out, it's nice. Looks good. So just keep going to the beginning. Alright, so we're at the beginning of the row. You can move your stitch marker now just so you know where to go with your white rows. Now if you want, you can just leave it here like I'm going to do. If you need to move your stitch marker, feel free to move it as you go. Alright, so it's in between there. I'm going to go in the beginning of the stitch, right into the stitch this time, and I'm going to do a half double crochet. And you're going to do a half double crochet in each stitch all the way around, and you want a total of 8 rows just like this, and that's including the first one that we did in the back stitch only. So half double crochet each stitch all the way around, 8 rows total, guys. Alright, so this will be our first decrease row. So I'm going to go into that first stitch and not finish it, and you go over to the second one from the hook just like that, and then pull it through. Now in between each decrease you want 5 stitches in total, so I'm going to do 5 half double crochet in a row. I'm just going to actually show the entire row for this one. I usually stop and go, but honestly this is my first time making it this size, so I also wanted to make sure that I got the right amount of decreases and all that, so I figured I'd film the whole thing. So there's another decrease. Again, you're just starting it in the first stitch like I said, and then you finish it in the second one. Don't worry, I'll show another one in a second if you missed it. Again, guys, if you need help at all, please let me know. I'm here to help. So there's another one. And please make sure to like the video. You can like it at any time while you're watching. Really appreciate it. So again, go through the first one, but don't finish, and then just do a single crochet to finish it off basically. So that is the beginning. You can see the first decrease underneath that one. See, it's right there. So now you're going to do 1 half double crochet each stitch all the way around, and you're going to do 3 rows total, just regular rows. So 1 half double crochet each stitch all the way around. If you don't move the stitch marker, go by the decrease. Alright, so here we are at the end of the 3 rows. So here's another decrease row. Again, just do it like this. You're finishing off in the second stitch from the afterward. And this time you're going to do 3 half double crochets in between each decrease. So 1 in each stitch, 3 half double crochet in a row, and then going in for the decrease here. Then again, you're going to do 1 half double crochet in the next 3 stitches. And decrease, and we're just going to keep continuing that to the beginning of the row. I can't wait to make some more cat toys, guys, so if you haven't, make sure that you are subscribed with notifications on so you don't miss any upcoming videos, because YouTube, I'm almost not wasn't able to say that for a second, YouTube will let you know when I upload new videos, as long as you have notifications on. And if you're on Facebook watching, I usually put them on afterward. I'm usually behind with those tutorials, so but if you are watching from there, just make sure you're following me. You'll see my new videos pop up. Alright, so for this row we're gonna go just past, that's the first decrease at the beginning of the row, so I'm just gonna do 3 half double crochet, 1 each stitch, and there's a stitch just past the decrease, as you can see. And then we're going to do 1 last decrease right here. And now you're going to do a half double crochet each stitch all the way around for 3 rows total. So I'll shut the camera off in a sec. So 3 rows, 1 half double crochet each stitch, and then I'll be back to show you how to finish. Alright, so we've got the body done. Awesome. So just skip a stitch, go in the second from the hook, and you're going to do a slip stitch. Now you can just cut this, you don't have to leave it too long if you don't want to. I ended up just tucking it in. You can sew it to the inside if you'd like though when you're done. Alright, so we're just going to turn this inside out. This guy ended up being pretty chubby, so like I said, if you do want it smaller, you most likely can just get away with decreasing or taking out a couple stitches out of the first initial circle that you make with the half double crochet. My white yarn is also a little thicker than my red yarn, so that made it a bit chunky too. But my cats love it just like this anyway, so anyways, we're on to the bottom. Alright, so now we're going to make a tweet for the bottom of the doob. So I'm going to chain 4 and join at the end with a slip stitch. And then you can do a chain, and then we're going to do 10 half double crochet into the circle, making sure that you crochet over the little piece of yarn, of course, so you can pull tight at the end. Again, that's 10 half double crochet into the circle. Again, guys, if you haven't, make sure that you have liked the video. I really do appreciate it, more than you know. And if you want to follow me on any of my other accounts, they're all linked at the top of my YouTube channel, and they're also linked on my Facebook page underneath my profile picture. If you have any tutorial requests, I do love to hear from you guys on what you want on my channel, so let me know. Or if you have pictures of finished projects or videos, I want to see those too. I love seeing them. There's been a few people that sent me pictures so far, and a video actually once. And it's really awesome seeing my work done by other people. And again, it's not expected, but if you want to join my Facebook subscription, Patreon, or do a one-time PayPal donation, the links are all there too. So I just wanted to see, kind of get a measurement of how much bigger I got to make this. just gotta add one more row. So I'm gonna do 2 half double crochet in the first stitch. Also, I do plan on doing a giveaway soon on my Facebook page as soon as I hit 14,000 followers, so if you're not following me on Facebook, you definitely should be if you're on there. And I do plan on doing a subscriber giveaway once I hit 10 subscribers. I have one so far, so I do need 9 more subscribers. It's $1.29 a month American and 99 cents a month Canadian if you want to subscribe to my Facebook page. It's definitely worth it. Alright, so you do 2 half double crochet in the next stitch, and you just want to keep doing that all the way around. So 2 half double crochet, same stitch, all the way around to the beginning. Alright, so we're just going to fasten that off and then we can move on to the next piece. So skip a stitch, do a slip stitch in the second stitch from the hook. Leave this tail long enough because we're going to sew it into the bottom of the dube after. Awesome. Alright, I'm going to show you how to do one of the eyes. You'll have to make 2. That's the first one. So I'm going to chain 4 and join it at the end with a slip stitch to make my magic circle. I didn't want to do the white eyes with the red veins on the dube because it's just white on white. I didn't really know if it would actually look okay, so I originally went with pink with my original dube, so I wanted to do the same thing on this one. Alright, so after that, do a chain, and now we're just going to do 8 half double crochet into the circle. And make sure you do crochet over the little piece of yarn so that you can pull tight after. So again, that's 8 half double crochet into the circle. Awesome. So that's it. You just want to do a slip stitch now into the beginning stitch and cut the tail long enough so that you can sew it onto the face. So I'm going to grab one piece of that black yarn that I showed you at the beginning, have it knotted at the end. So now you're going through the back of the eyeball on the side, and then through the front into the back on the side. Now you're going to go through like this 7 times in the same holes, just to make the pupil bigger. So right back through the same one, through the back, and then out through the front. Again, you want to go through 7 times with the yarn and the needle. Very simple, but effective. I've been making eyes for a while. I actually didn't buy safety eyes until like a few years ago. So I started off making my own, and I still mostly make my own because you can't always get the eyes you want when you're ordering safety eyes. It's just not the same. Alright, so after you're done putting that through 7 times, you can just fasten off in the back just like this. I always go through at least twice. And I'm just going to snip that. Awesome. So now you can stop and make your second eyeball. And then we're on to the eyelids. Here's the other one. Awesome. Alright, so now we're on to the eyelids. There's the first one. Again, definitely have to stop and make your second one when we're done. So these are real easy. You're just going to chain 5. There we go. Now grab the chain, do one more chain, and then go in the second chain from the hook into the back bump only, and you're going to do a half double crochet. And then just do a half double crochet in each stitch all the way to the end. You'll have 5 stitches in total once you're done. And again, I'm going in the back bump of the chain only. Awesome. So just make sure that you leave a long enough tail so you can sew the eyelid on to the face. It's trying to run away on me. Alright, so just going to tie that up. Again, you'll just have to make your second one, but here's both of them here together. Alright, so I already put the one eye and eyelid on, so you can see how it is here. I just went down a few rows and put the eye on. Nothing too difficult. Once you get the first one on, you can line them up just like this. Alright, so I'm just going to get that first initial stitch through. It's much easier once you get the needle through once. Holds it in place a little bit better. So simply sewing in and out through the body. So just make sure that you go close enough to each stitch that you're doing along the edge of the eye and pull tight enough so that it's flat on the face. You don't want to see anything behind it. As long as you do it right, you're not going to see anything underneath. I always go back and do another stitch if I have to. Sometimes it's needed. So I'm just going to show you how to start sewing this on and then you can finish. I'll show you how to fasten it off though. Awesome. So just keep going all the way around to the beginning. Alright, now we can put the eyelid on, but first we're going to fasten this off on the inside. It'll help keep the eye on a little bit better. This toy got pretty roughed up after I gave it to my cats, so make sure you secure this really well. It's all still intact, but between the two of them, they roughed it up pretty good. Didn't take much with two of them playing with it. It was pretty cute. I wasn't planning. I didn't think any of my other cats would actually play with this thing, so I was definitely mistaken there. I need to make more toys. If you have any ideas on more cat toys you'd like to see as well, just let me know in the comments of the video. I definitely plan on making a fish, I know that much. I'll probably make a few different types of toys though, because they're going nuts over just this one. They're sharing it, it's really cute. Alright, so we're just gonna, after threading the needle, I did tuck in the little piece of yarn into the back of it first, but now we've got the needle threaded, and I just went through that end to make it look a little bit better before sewing it on, since it looked a little awkward. So I'm just going to show you how to sew this on. You just need to get that first stitch on again, of course. Help keep it steady. Then it's much easier to get it on from here. So I'm just using the eyeball underneath as a guide as well. So you want to go in and out just above. You can feel the eyeball with the needle, so I'm not going through the eye at all. I'm going right above it and into the top of the eyelid. Awesome. Again, make sure you are sewing this on tight enough as well. Alright, we're almost on the other corner of the eyelid. You want those down nice and tight as well, so I'm going to go through the edge of it here. And then I'm going to go through the side again here just to make sure that it's nice and flat. There we go. Now I want to fix the inside, the eyelid on the other side, I guess you could say the other corner, so I'm just going to go underneath the eye, right over into a stitch on the side of it. Luckily it's not overly big, so you can just do that. I'm going to go through the edge of the stitch here and just do the same thing I did on the other side. Awesome. So again, I'm just going to push this out a little bit so I can fasten it off on the inside of the tube. And I'm right underneath the eye, nothing is going to show on the outside. Alright, so just give that a snip. we can finish making the face. Alright, so here's my other piece of black yarn that I have knotted at the end as well. I did a few making sure that it doesn't pull through. So you're going to go in through the inside and just put the needle about where you think you'll need to make your little side of you're making a smirking face, I guess you could say, smirking line, so that needs to be on the side like that. I'm not making the mouth overly big, so I'm just going to go over just like that and through. Now you want to go in the middle of this line here. So I'm going to go right underneath it in the middle, and there we go. Got a little smile on them. You can definitely make that however you'd like. That's just how I like it. And you want to make sure all this is secured because especially if you put catnip in it like I'm going to, because your cats are going to go nuts with this and you want it to stay together. I highly do not recommend safety eyes. I saw some people using them on these. I think that's a big no-no. Alright, on to the stuffing. Alright, so we're gonna grab some stuffing and the catnip now. This is where things got a little interesting for me, guys. This is how I realized as well that I had some pretty good catnip, because my cats started to swarm me like sharks while I was doing my tutorial. All I did was take the seal off the bag and they smelt it, and that was it. They didn't stop after that. The first batch I got was at the dollar store with a toy, and apparently it just wasn't good enough catnip because I never seen them do this before. It was hilarious. So I'm just going to put enough in of the stuffing to start. Now you can do this way, or you can actually make a little pouch to put your catnip in with fabric or whatever you want to do, but this works just as well. I'm literally just going to layer the catnip in here with the stuffing. You can also apparently mix the stuffing with the catnip, but this technique works well for me. If you haven't seen it, this will be in the same playlist as my other cat stuff. I have a Pokemon ball catnip toy on here as well. So there's a nice layer of catnip. I have 4 cats, and they all ended up coming in the living room while I opened this and did this, but the 2 of them were really trying to get the catnip when I was making it. It was quite funny. So I got that other little bit of stuffing. Now I'm going to put a bit more catnip. Almost like rolling a real doob. So I'm making sure this is nice and secure too, so the bottom layer will end up being stuffing. I just want to make sure that there's enough catnip in it, and apparently I did definitely put enough in there. I'm pretty sure I could have probably put a little bit less, but that's okay. I have a pretty big bag of it, so I'm definitely going to have to use it. Awesome. Don't worry, if you do get a bit of catnip on the outside, it comes off pretty easy. Just putting a little bit more here. I'm just making sure that it's good and stuffed at the bottom before I put the tweet on, so you can definitely add more stuffing as you go if you have to as well. And don't forget to hit that like button, guys. It's really appreciated and helpful. Keeps my video bumped up in the algorithm for other people to watch. And do make sure that you are subscribed with notifications on. I don't want you missing any upcoming videos. And if you're on Facebook, like I said, make sure you're following me. If you want to follow me on any of my other social links, they are at the top of my YouTube channel, all the links. I'm available on every platform for you guys in case you need help, want to suggest a tutorial, or just want to talk. I'm there to answer your questions. I like to be available to you guys. And yeah, I really do enjoy tutorial requests, and of course if you have pictures of your finished projects from my tutorials, I love seeing those too, or videos if you have them. And of course, if you do want to if you want to sign up to my subscription on Facebook, Patreon, or do a one-time PayPal donation, those links are all there too, in the same places. Like I said, I do plan on doing a giveaway on my Facebook page at 14,000 followers. I'm almost, I'm almost at 70. Yeah, that's about how many. I need just over 70 followers. So, I think I need 73. And for my subscription giveaway, I need at least 10 to do my first giveaway. I've got one subscriber so far, which is awesome. If you guys want to make the full body version of this guy, I do have a tutorial for him as well. He's on here. He has a pocket on his back for a pack of papers. You could probably fit a lighter in there too. He's in my stoner playlist. He's one of my smoking buddies. There's quite a few other stoner ones on here too. They're all in the same playlist. This one will probably be in my cat playlist, and most likely in the stoner one too. Gotta make sure that everyone sees it that may want to watch it. Alright, so I've got enough stuff. I got enough stuffing in there now, so we're gonna grab the tweet. And I'm just going to sew into the inside of the stitch here so that you don't see it on the outside of the doob. So in and out through the side of the stitch and through the tweet. Sewing pretty close together for each stitch, especially since there's going to be cats playing with it. You want to make sure that everything is nice and secured. If you do have a crazy cat that tends to tear things apart, this may not be the thing for them, but if not, give it a go. So just keep going like this all the way around inside a stitch. Alright, so that is done. So I'm going to make sure that this is nice and secure on the bottom. I'm going to go through a few times with my needle here. If I were just making a regular stuffy, I probably wouldn't. I usually go through like once to fasten it off, but since my cuckoo cats will be playing with this toy, I'm going through a few times. There we go. Again, if you guys have any other suggestions for cat toys or other cat related items or any kind of tutorial, please let me know. I want to hear it. So here's the finished dube. You can make it with or without eyes. You can even make them smaller. You just have to adjust the top of his... Adjust the top. Yeah. Awesome job, guys. Yay!
Hey hookers, welcome back to Inspired by a Smile. My name is Christy, and today I'm going to show you how to make a stoned octopus. So if you have a hook and some yarn, let's get started. So I'm using my 4mm, and I have my base color here for my octopus, a nice light purple. I'm going to do a chain of 4. And then join at the end with a slip stitch, and then do a chain, and then you're going to do 9 half double crochet into the circle, and you want to crochet over the little piece of yarn. And again, you want 9 half double crochets in total into the circle. And while you're doing that, I would like to thank everybody for watching my videos so far. I really do appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed and turned on notifications already, please make sure that you do so that you don't miss any upcoming videos. It also helps. It keeps my videos flowing in the algorithm as well. The more you guys hit the button, and the more you guys watch my videos. So I really do appreciate it. If you want to even go hit the like button on the video itself, or leave any comments just to say hi, or if you have any video recommendations, please feel free to do so as well. I'd like to hear them. I love taking requests for tutorials. I'd also love to thank my patrons as well. I have the 2 of you, and that is really appreciated. If you'd like to be patron number 3, go over to the link underneath my name on my channel, and you can go and check that out. It's only $3 a month to tip me as an artist, and you get a free little baby octopus for that, actually. So I'm in the beginning, before I continue talking, I'm in the beginning stitch. And I just did 2 half double crochet in the same stitch. I put my stitch marker in, which I'm going to leave there. It's just, if you need to move yours, please do, but I'm going to leave mine. And then you're going to do 2 half double crochet in the same stitch all the way around for this row. And just keep going till you get to the beginning. Awesome. Okay, so we're on to the next row, and this one you're going to do 1 half double crochet in this stitch, and then 2 in the same stitch for the next one. And you want to repeat that around. I'm just going to show that again. And also add, if you do not want to sign up to Patreon, I also take PayPal and e-transfer as a one-time donation. If anyone would just like to do that, I do appreciate it. I've had one so far, and it is really helpful. Again, 1 2 1 half double crochet all the way around for this row, guys. Awesome. Okay, so for this row, you're gonna be doing 1 half double crochet in each stitch, and you're actually gonna be repeating this row 9 times in total. I'm only going to do it once because this is my example. I'm actually just going to show you how to start the head itself, or the base of the octopus. And yeah, so you're going to do 1 half double crochet in each stitch all the way around, and you want to repeat that for 9 rows total, guys. All right, so now technically yours is going to look like this because you have 9 rows of those rows. So after you're done those 9 rows of half double crochet, this is your next row. So we're going to begin with a decrease after those ones. So this is going to be how you're going to do it. So you go partial into the first stitch. I just actually have to fix it. I didn't do it right. So you go over, yarn over, go into the stitch like that, but don't go all the way through, and then you want to yarn over into the next one and then pull through like this, and you're going to do that as the decrease. Don't worry, I'm going to do it a couple more times. So now you're going to do 6, you want to do 1 half double crochet in each stitch, and you want to do that 6 times in between each decrease. And I actually go, for the last decrease, it goes past the last or first one at the beginning of the row, I should say, by the stitch marker. You'll be able to see where it is once you get there. So again, we're doing another decrease right here. So you yarn over, go in, but don't go all the way through. Yarn over for the second one and then pull through like that for the decrease. And then we're going to do that again. So 1 half double crochet in each stitch, and you want to do this 6 times. Awesome. And again, I am going to go until I see the first original decrease in the first row, and then we're going to go a little bit past it to do the last decrease. So just keep going until you're past the stitch marker. Awesome. All right, so now that we're done that decrease row, you actually are going to do a few rows of half double crochet now. 3 in total to be exact. So you want to do 1 half double crochet in each stitch, and you're going to do 3 rows in total. So your octopus is going to look much longer than mine by now. Remember, my adorable little piece here is just an example, so I can show you how to start it and then finish it. Awesome, so just keep going, 3 rows. Okay guys, so for this row, you're actually going to decrease at the beginning of the row again. So far, this is what you actually do have. So we're almost done. So we're going to do the same kind of decrease. So yarn over, go in, pull through, but not all the way through for the stitch, and then go yarn over once and then pull through. And then you want to do 1 half double crochet in each stitch 5 times in between each decrease. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to decrease again. Again, I really do appreciate you guys for watching my videos. I love that you love making them, and I love reading your comments and everything as well, and talking to you on my social media platforms. It's really enjoyable. There's another decrease, so we're going to go another round of 5 stitches here. So again, if you actually do have any tutorial requests, please let me know. And if you're not subscribed and have notifications on, please make sure that they are, so that you know when I upload new videos or promotional videos to show what's next or whatever. Sometimes I just show some goofy videos or whatever, random. So here is the second last decrease. Now we're going to go do the last one. And all of my social links are actually underneath my name at the top of my channel. So if you do want to check them all out, including my Patreon and Facebook and all that, they're all there. If you want to do the one-time donation thing, then you can ask me that for that on one of my social media things or YouTube, wherever. I just don't have those linked there. All right, so that was the last, should have been the last decrease there. So now, actually, I'm just going to make sure I'm going to watch myself for a second. I think that's the last decrease, yes. So now we're going to keep going with half double crochets all the way around in each stitch. And you're going to actually do that for 5 more rows until you're done. And then you want to turn it inside out just like this once you're done those 5 rows. So again, 1 half double crochet each stitch for 5 rows, and then you're going to do a skip stitch, slip stitch in here, and then you can cut a long enough tail, which you want to leave on later. You'll see why, and then also turn it inside out when you're done. Alright, so now we're going to go on to the eyeball and the eyelid, guys. Awesome job so far. So I'll show you how to make the other eyeball, since as you can see, the other one is done already. So you're going to do a chain of 2. Grab the chain and then do another chain, and then you're going to go in the second from the hook where if you grab it like I do, where your thumb is, and then do another half double crochet in the next stitch, and you're going to do this for 4 rows total. So you're just going to do a chain and turn at the end of each row as well. Awesome, so that is 4 rows, guys. So after this chain and turn, you're going to do 2 half double crochet in that stitch. And then 2 in the next one. So now, to give it more of a nice shape, I am going to do an edge around, and I'll show you how to, I'm just going to end up going around the entire thing anyway too, so that you know what to do. So do a slip stitch and then do a chain, and then you're just going to do single crochet all the way around the edge of the eyeball. Awesome, so you can kind of pull that tighter, and that can also go behind after. So right now I'm going to just do a chain at the corner here. And then go in the same stitch and do another single crochet. And then a single crochet in the next stitch. And then you want to do the same thing here. So you want to do a single crochet, do a chain, go in the same stitch and do another single crochet. And that keeps the corners nice. Now, they don't have to be all nice and sharp at the top because we're rounding it out, so it'll be okay at the top here, but just for the bottom, you want them to look like that. And now we're continuing with single crochet all the way up to the top and around. Make sure you don't miss any stitches so that it's not too far apart either. You don't want a gap in between on the edge. And while we finish this up, if you haven't yet, you can go and hit the like button. Make sure that everybody else sees my video too. If you want to, no pressure. I'm so excited to get this guy on there. He's been sitting around because I had to do all the... Okay, so actually right here, before I actually say anything, do 2 in the same stitch right there into the one where you already did 2 in the same stitch. You're actually going to do 2 in the same stitch again in those ones. So 2 in the same stitch and then 1 single crochet in between, and then 2 in the same stitch there. And we're almost done the edge. As I was saying though, actually wait a second. I've got to stop talking. So slip stitch into the beginning of the stitch there. And then leave a long enough tail because you're going to sew the eyeball onto the face after. But anyways, as I was actually trying to say, I am excited to get this guy on there. He's been sitting around with most of his, body done. Just took a minute to do his tentacles and suctions, so I needed a bit of a break from him for a few days. Awesome. So after you cut the tail and leave it and then tie it off, we can finish the fine detail on the eyeball. So I just got my black here for the pupil part. I'm going to tie the knot at the end just to make it extra secure. And you're going to go through the back of the eyeball at the bottom here. So go through once with your needle to get it in. And then you're going to go through on the other side, same spot, and go through the back. And you're going to do this 10 times in total, just to make it a nice size. If you want it smaller or bigger, go for it. But I sewed mine through 10 times, just going right through the same holes over and over again. It makes it nice and big and puffy. And again, I went through 10 times just to make sure that you guys heard that. Usually my pupils aren't actually this big. But it is a pretty big eyeball for the octopus, so it needed it. Awesome. It's the longest pupil ever. At least it feels like it going through all those times. I think this is probably the biggest eyeball though that I've made for a stoner, for one of my stoner buddies, so, or smoking buddies. All right, almost done. All right, so just got to make sure that it's good. Looks okay. Now you just got to flip it over when you're done, and you can go right behind your nice wad of black yarn with the needle, and then also go into the back of the eyeball a little bit. Pull it tight enough, and then you can also sew through again to make sure it's nice and secure back there. Nobody's going to be seeing anything behind it anyway. And then you can snip that. Now I'm going to show you how to do the veins on the eyeball. I actually did try this without splicing the yarn first, and I did not like it. I had to take it out. So you can choose, for my eyes like this, I always end up just grabbing my red yarn, and I grab 2 strands each like this and pull it apart. Now sometimes it just comes apart, slides apart so easily, but like right now it's giving me a bit of a hard time because there's something wrapped around the piece of yarn that I have, so I'm just pulling it slower, and I found what is causing the problem. So, and since I only need the one long strand, it's okay that the other one is breaking a little bit. But if you want to try and make sure that yours doesn't do that, just be careful as you go. But sometimes, even for me, I have to end up grabbing another piece of yarn after, because this happens. And sometimes you cannot fix it after. Awesome. So here's the nice long piece that I have for the eyeball. Make sure you cut it long enough because, I mean, it is a big enough eyeball. You want enough veins on it probably, so don't be shy. But if you do cut it too short, it's okay too. You can always like knot the needle, or I mean knot the yarn after, and the next piece, and you can start from where you left off, so it's not that big of a deal. Awesome. So my yarn is knotted, and going to knot it after threading it. And alternatively, I mean, embroidery floss or some thinner yarn would probably work for this too, but this is one of the ones I've been using even when doing orders, and it's nice on the eyeballs, so that's how I do it, and it gives it a nice effect too when you rip it apart. It just doesn't look right if you don't. So I'm going to get this in here. So just as you saw, I went right above the pupil behind. Now I'm just going to go up with the needle randomly. Now you can do these however you like, however many veins you want to. The important thing is just to kind of scatter them around and make them look a little bit, you want it as realistic looking as possible. Awesome. I'm actually also going to put another smaller one right down there too. So now just keep going up with the needle. And it all depends on you whether you want less or more veins, really. And just remember the top part is going to be hidden by the eyelid. So I didn't do too much underneath on that part. But I made it so that there's veins going up so that you can still see them near the top even, so... Pretty excited to get another stoner one on here actually, because I've been doing other tutorials too, and these ones are some of my favorite. So I tend to do things also that you guys like, so it's fun when I get to do one that I want to do too. Not that I don't mind pleasing you all, but I do like doing the stoner ones a little bit more. I definitely can't wait to make something up for 420 this year. Not that I already don't have some things in mind, but I'll probably do some 420 related stuff this year. Awesome. So I basically just did that tiny vein just so I could go over to the other side here. Because that's going to probably be hidden underneath my nice little eyelid that I make. Alright, and see, here's the other one, just so you can see the different markings. They both did not turn out the same, and it looks good. You don't want everything to look the same anyway. Alright, so I just fastened off in the back of the stitch, and it's snipped and ready to go. So now I'm going to just show you how to make the eyelid, and then we can move on to sewing these parts on. So this is going to be a chain of 6. Grab the chain, do another chain and go in the second from the hook. Go into the back bump of the chain. Actually, I always crochet into the back bumps. So you'll have 6 half double crochet in total across your chain. Awesome. So you can just do a chain and turn. And for this row you want to skip the first stitch actually, and then do a half double crochet. Alright, and then we're also going to do one in the next stitch, and then you basically want to do them all the way across, and then you're just going to do a slip stitch in the last stitch. So half double crochet each stitch after decreasing the first one, and then slip stitch in the last one to decrease that one. Chain and turn. And then you also want to skip a stitch here. You'll have 4 stitches on your last row. Your last row will actually only have 2. So there you go. Do a half double crochet in each stitch after skipping the first one, and then do a slip stitch in the last stitch. And again, if you haven't yet, subscribe and turn on notifications, so make sure you don't miss my videos, and make sure you hit the like button on this one if you don't mind. Awesome job. Okay. Awesome. If I didn't mention it earlier, you just had to slip stitch into the side of the eyelid to finish off. My video kind of ended weird for that last clip, so I just wanted to make sure of that. So you just actually have to slip stitch, and if that wasn't clear or anything for that eyelid. So now we're going to sew on the eyeball. And then the eyelid before continuing, because I mean it's easier, and then you can start on your tentacles and suctions. So literally you just have to, if you don't want to pin down your stuff, you can just hold it in place and sew it on like this. So just carefully go along the edge of the eyeball. And you want to pull tight enough, and then you won't see anything underneath either after. And you want to go close enough together too with the needle when you're going in and out of the stitches, but not too close, because you don't want to go in the same stitch, because that's not good. And also you'll have a much easier time sewing your eyeballs on, since there won't be any tentacles on yet. The other eyeball was definitely a little easier, but it's not too bad actually. So if you also do decide to check out my other social links, I do giveaways and I just keep everyone up to date on what I'm doing, post what I think is funny or whatever. So if I also do sneak peek videos, usually like to promote what I'm doing next, or even just what I'm working on for non-tutorials. So if you want to check all that out, it's all underneath my name at the top of my YouTube channel. And again, if you would like to do a one-time donation through PayPal or e-transfer, just let me know. It's appreciated. Doesn't matter how much it is either. It's all appreciated. It really is. It adds up, and really helps me get going and doing what I'm actually trying to achieve here. And if you do want to sign up to Patreon, it is linked underneath my name too. And it is only $3 a month. And like I said, I am going to send you out a free little gift for signing up. I'll most likely send you something too if you sign up to, if you send me something for PayPal or e-transfer. Through Patreon, like, 'cause I can message you after you message me for the PayPal and e-transfer, to know what your address is to send you something. With Patreon, I can message you as soon as you sign up. I'll see that you signed up. So as long as I'm awake, I'm going to message you right away. And I should add, if you do have any problems throughout the tutorials, I should have probably mentioned this earlier too. I have to get used to saying it. If you have any problem at all throughout the tutorials, please don't feel shy and embarrassed to message me, because I want to help you if you're stuck, I want to help you. I don't want you to be discouraged from crocheting. And everyone wants to finish their project that they start, so please don't feel like you can't message me, because no question is a dumb question. So if I didn't want to help, I wouldn't post tutorials. And some people really don't get and understand that when they do patterns and tutorials, that they are going to get asked questions and need to help people, and some of them come off really rude to people, and it's not cool. So I'm not one of those people. I just want to let you know that. So just tuck that in. Once you're done, you can just turn the octopus inside out a little bit so you can go behind the eyeball. And you can just tuck the yarn in right behind, and it's going to go in between the eyeball and the base of the octopus. Awesome. Now we're on to the eyelid. Alright, so we're going to sew the eyelid on now. I'm just going to tuck this little piece of yarn in first. I'm just going to go into the back of the stitches on the back of the piece here. Awesome, so you can just snip that. And this part is kind of weird. It started in a weird spot, so because of where we left off on the top. So I'm going to actually show you how to fix this in a second. Because you definitely don't want to start sewing this on like that here. So basically all you have to do is grab the eyelid here, and you just want to sew down the edge a little bit so that you're starting at the corner of the eyelid. There we go. So again, guys, just take your time, and if you don't want to use pins, just hold it still like this. And for the eyelid, it makes it easy. As long as you're holding it in place, it is pretty guided along the edge there because you can feel the eyeball underneath. So you just got to hold it where you want it and keep going with the needle. Again, you're going to go close enough together, sewing in and out through the head, but not so close that you're in the same stitch. So excited. We're on to the a fun part next. The tentacles and the suctions on there. They aren't all so bad to make. It's just you got to make enough of them. So, but it did. I love how this octopus turned out, especially after doing the trim on the tentacles. It actually really made it look really amazing after. I wasn't expecting it to look quite how it does now. So I'm quite excited for everyone to make this little guy. My husband has named him Dave, actually. So I'm just pulling this, I had to go back through and pull that down because I want it to be a little bit tighter over here. And dropped down a little bit. There we go. Awesome. So now we're inside. Gonna just hide the yarn again and secure it. There you go. You can just snip that. I really do appreciate everyone watching my videos so far. It's so much fun creating things for you guys to make. Look at this, awesome. Alright guys, so now I'm just going to show you how I started the tentacle because I'm not going to make an entire chain that big. That'll just be too boring. And again, I'm just going to make one example here. You're going to have to make 8 tentacles and then all of your suctions after to go on it. So my tentacles are a chain of 40. Again, this is just an example one, so it's going to be a little shorter. I just need to show you how to start them though. So again, chain of 40. And then when you're done the chain of 40, you're going to grab it. And then do another chain, then go in the second from the hook, do a single crochet, and then do a half double crochet, and then you want to do double crochet all the way up till you get to the end of your chain of 40. So this will be a double crochet, and I'm going to do that in the next stitch and all of them up there. And again, I'm going to crochet in the back bumps only of the chain. Awesome job. So you want to keep going all the way till the end. Here's my one example, and leave a long enough tail so you can sew it to the octopus when you're done. Alright guys, so now I'll show you how to make these little buggers here. So there's probably 10 or 11, maybe some of them even have 12 on the tentacles, but mostly they range to have about 10 or 11 suctions per tentacle. Now, honestly, I did each tentacle at a time, so you can do your suctions for each one and sew them on so that you know, or you can just do a bunch. It's up to you. But I just did a chain of 3, joined it at the end, and then did a chain. And now I'm going to do 4 single crochet into the circle, and I'm going to crochet over the little piece of yarn so I can pull it tight after. And again, there's 4 single crochet into the circle. But yeah, I did all my suctions per tentacle because I had all 8 tentacles done, and then I just grabbed a tentacle and put on the suctions, so I didn't overdo it on the suctions either. It's up to you though. Because it depends also how close you end up sewing your suctions together. So I'm at the beginning, I just did a slip stitch into the top of the stitch, and see it's pulled together. It looks like a little suction. I'm leaving a long enough tail to sew it onto the tentacle. And you don't have to worry about the little piece of yarn at the bottom because it's going to get sewn underneath. But as you can see, because it's crocheted tight together and that, it makes a little, looks like a little indent into the middle of the circle and makes it look like a suction. And as you can see here, I started sewing it on into it because that's the top of the tentacle. So you don't want it right at the top because you're going to be sewing those on. So leave about that much room at the top. And then at the bottom, I didn't actually go all the way to the bottom either. Each one has a little type, on its little hands. There's no suction. So just to space them out about that far in between. And then you're going to go right into the side of the stitch actually, and down, and then you go into the back of the stitch of the tentacle so that you don't see anything on the front. And I did make sure that I actually sewed them in between the edges of the tentacle because you're going to be doing an edge around after, so don't sew them, try to sew them in between the edging of the tentacle, if that makes sense. You don't want to have it sewn right to the sides. It makes it easier to get your hook through after. You'll see what I mean. So you're just going to carefully go around the edge of the suction until you get to the beginning of it again. And you want to just continue doing these until you have all of them on your tentacles. And like I said, I did each tentacle at a time with the suctions so that I didn't overdo it. And it gives you a little break from doing them in between because you can do about, 10 of them, see if you need more or less, whatever. So just tuck the needle and yarn underneath in between the suction and the tentacle like that. And then go over a little bit, and then you can do it again, just to make sure. Awesome. Looking so good right now. So when you're done all this, I'll show you how to sew this onto the octopus and how to space them and everything. Awesome job, guys. Okay, so I've got my other 7 tentacles attached already. Now, as long as you left that yarn at the back too, it's easy to actually place these. It was so like the size that they are, it's like they're perfect for to sew on. But I'm gonna use the front middle as a guide and then that back string as a guide, and then we also need it after for doing the trim of the tentacles. You'll see. So you want to see here, it actually all lines up. Almost forgot I did show first. So you want to leave that piece of yarn at the back. It's a guide, and you also need it after. So you want to you have it lined up at the front. You can start at the front or the back as long as you keep it all lined up. I mean, if it's uneven, it's fine too. Don't worry about it, but if you do it the way I did it, you'll have them lined up the same way. So I'm just going to sew into the front of the stitch here because I'm going to also sew in the back too. And you can see I do have a bit of a gap in between each tentacle here on the base of the octopus, and it's all going to get filled in once you do the trim around all the tentacles. Almost done, guys. We just have this part, and then we have a joint to make, and then I'm going to show you how to stuff this guy's head. So yeah, flipped over, you're going to go into the stitch on the tentacle and then into the head. All in the back of the stitches though. Awesome. So now that part is done, I'm just gonna flip it here. Now you want to go in the back of the stitches and just like this with the needle. I already have lots sewn in. It's hard to find a spot now. So just go with the needle like that through the back of the stitches. And then you can even secure it by, once I get it out, I'll show you. There we go. Just go like that and secure it with a little knot. And you can tuck them. I just tucked in most of those pieces of yarn instead of cutting them. Awesome, guys. All right. So I'm just going to actually show you how to start the trim here, which is going to start with this little piece of yarn at the back of your octopus. So you can attach your main color again. Don't worry that there's a little knot or anything. I'm going to show you what to do with this after too. I'm so excited for this to be finished and on here because honestly it really did turn out. It turned out awesome like I expected, but I really like how the tentacles turned out. You'll see when you're done too. By adding the trim, it made them twirl or whatever. It's natural way of how it does it. So now you want to do a nice single crochet trim around all your tentacles. I'm sorry, but it really is necessary. I assure you and promise you, you're going to love it when you're done. So you're going to go into the first closest stitch and do a single crochet just like that after you yarn over. And it makes it easier once that part's done. So now you just want to go along the edge, and don't worry, like I said, about that knot. We're going to be sewing that after. Now this is why I said also to make sure those suctions aren't sewn to the sides of your tentacles. because it's a little tight even though I didn't. So for the most part though, it's actually not that bad. Just some of them are like that. And as you can see, there's a little bit of space for the purple, but it actually closed up as I was putting the trim on too. And it was easily fixed with my fingers as well. So I'm going to show you along this edge because I got to show you what to do at the tip of the tentacle here. So just keep going along in each stitch here on the tentacle, and we're going to keep going with a single crochet. And then I'll also come back in to show you what you have to do when you get to the top again, because that's important too. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I do love making things for you guys to make too. Like I said, if you haven't already, do make sure that you're subscribed and turn on notifications, because you don't want to miss any of my upcoming videos or promotional videos to see what I am going to be putting on here next, or if there's going to be giveaways or whatever. My last giveaway was at 1,000 subscribers for YouTube. The next YouTube giveaway will be at 5,000 subscribers, which we're basically, I feel like we're going to get there pretty fast at this point. I'm actually happy I put it a little higher, because it's like every time I do a giveaway, it seems like I get a surge of subscribers right after. So you guys are amazing. And I also plan on doing a Facebook giveaway soon. So if you are on Facebook actually, and if you're not following me on there, go hit the follow button on my Facebook page. If we get up to 3,000 followers, I'm going to do a small giveaway on there. I'm not sure of what yet, but I'll get something prepared. And again, if you can and are able to, I do have patrons set up. My tier is called Tip the Artist, actually. It's $3 a month. And it helps out with what I do. And like I said, I can see when you sign up, so I will message you as long as I'm awake to ask you your mailing address to send you out your little friend. And if you do decide to just want to do a one-time donation, they don't have that on Patreon, so that's why I do have my option to do it with PayPal or e-transfer. So that is also an option, and like I said, I'll most likely send out something for that too. I just for the Patreon, I sent out a baby octopus. For PayPal and e-transfer, it would really depend on how much of a donation you do send, to be honest. Like the bigger, I would probably send you something bigger. So, because yous are all awesome and deserve something in appreciation. Awesome, almost done. And again, guys, even if you just want to like the video, that helps a lot too. It keeps my videos bumped up in the algorithm for other people to see. Just watching them helps too, though. It actually keeps it up there too. But liking it keeps it bumped up even more. And if you do have any tutorial requests, please feel free to tell me. You can tell me right on one of my videos, or you can message me on one of my social medias, wherever you'd like. So we're at the tip. You're going to do a chain, and then you're going to go in the next stitch and just keep going with a single crochet. Just like this. And you're going to go right up to the top again, and I'll show you just a few more stitches here, and then I'm going to cut out and come back in to show you what I do at the top, because we're going to get to the top at some point here. So I'm going to shut off the video and come right back and show you what to do. Awesome. All right, so we're at the top of that tentacle. Got a ways to go here, but it is actually pretty awesome once you get going and have the flow of it. It's enjoyable. So just do a slip stitch. You're basically right in the middle of both tentacles here. And then you're going to go at the beginning of the next one and just start single crochet again. And don't forget to do a chain at the bottom of the tentacle like I showed you at the first one. So you do single crochet all the way to the bottom and then do a chain and then keep going and doing a single crochet up the next side, and then don't forget to do a slip stitch when you get to the back to the top like I just showed you. And you continue this until we're done.